Hello everyone and welcome to my weekly wrap up. So reading wise, it has been a really good week for me. So I've read 3 books and I gave 2 of them 4 stars and 1 of them 5 stars. So one of the books that I gave 4 stars to this week is Dead Girls by Abigail Tartolin, and this is a recently released mystery thriller story following a young girl called Thera whose best friend Billy is brutally raped and murdered, and Thera feels that the police aren't doing their job properly and she takes it upon herself to find out who did this to Billy and hopefully avenge her death. And just before Billy went missing, she and Thera were playing with a Ouija board, and their Ouija board games seems to have conjured up these spirits of these young girls, and Thera is the only one who can see these spirits, and she takes this as a sign that it needs to be her that finds out who did this to these girls, whether there's a connection between what happened to all of them, and ultimately she is the one that needs to find all of this out. Ultimately, this is a really dark, disturbing thriller. Thera is 11 years old and it's set in the 90s, and I was around that age during the 90s as well, so I'm kind of relating to her on that kind of personal level. I'm recognizing all of the pop culture references, like she has a nano pet which she absolutely adores. I had nano pets that I really adored. She loves the Spice Girls, she's into the whole girl power phenomenon and all of that, so I really appreciated that whole setting. Thera is a very confident and self-assured young lady, and she puts herself in really dangerous situations with seemingly no awareness of the danger of these situations, because she's so desperate to find out exactly what happened to Billy, how these things could have happened, and who is responsible, who could possibly have done these things. It is really dark and disturbing. There are some scenes that are really difficult to read. Lots and lots of twists towards the end as well. It does get really exciting, with some morality questions thrown around in the last kind of 5% of it as well, which I really appreciated. It was just really well written, and it was really exciting. I didn't know who was the killer or anything like that until quite near the end, which I really appreciated. So yeah, if it sounds like your kind of thing, definitely give it a go, but obviously be warned, because there are definitely some scenes that are quite difficult to read and it is pretty disturbing at times. But yeah, that is Dead Girls. The other book that I gave 4 stars to this week is Slay by Kim Curran, and this is the first book in a new YA series following Slay, who are a boy band who also fight demons, and this book was one of my most anticipated releases for this year. I think I actually preferred the concept rather than the execution of it, sadly. The reason I gave it 4 stars still though is because I definitely want to read the next book in the series. It wasn't so bad that I don't want to read more from these guys, but I did feel that some of the characters were quite stereotypical. They did conform to stereotypes, and I didn't really appreciate that very much. I didn't really like the female lead in this, Millie. So Millie is a young girl whose mother is a famous opera singer who becomes possessed by an Aztec demon, and she is then rescued by the Slay guys who help her overcome this demon ultimately. It was really action-packed, it was really violent, and I really appreciated all of those little chapters, and I did really love some of the guys. They were just so cute and so lovely, but I did feel that I was perhaps a little bit too mature for it. It did feel a little bit young for me, sadly. But I did enjoy it for what it was. I don't think it was edited too well either, sadly. I think there was a lot of like bits of repetition in there as well, which I definitely noticed, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure that it was edited properly, but I am really intrigued to see the next adventure that the guys go on. So yeah, that is Slay. And the book that I gave 5 stars to this week is Lyra on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I flew through this book. I literally read it within about 3 hours. I just could not put it down. So this is the sequel, companion kind of thing to Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. This follows Leah, and Leah is a drummer in a girl band, and she is in her last year of high school, and she's part of this very close, tight-knit group of friends, and as they are approaching the end of their high school, tensions start to show in their friendship group, and Lyra doesn't really know who to side with. Also, Lyra has apparently always known that she is bisexual, but she's never really found it in her to come out to her friends. And as these tensions start to show and things start changing for her and her friends, she realises that she's developing feelings for one of her friends who is seemingly off limits for so many reasons. So that's pretty much all I can say without spoiling it anymore, but it is just absolutely adorable. I know I said that I've always fully related to Lyra pretty much since I saw Love, Simon. I need to reread Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, which I know I've said in previous videos, because I definitely didn't feel that kind of really strong connection with Lyra when I read it, so I definitely need to reread that. But since I've seen Love, Simon, I fully related to Lyra, and I still fully related to her in this. She's just so self-assured, she's so happy in her self-image, which I just think is so inspirational. She's really outspoken, she's really bolshy, she's also really sweet, she's really loyal. I just really love her. I just thought it was really cute. I love the way that Becky Albertalli writes her characters. They're just done in such a rich, lovely way. Like, you remember them, and she just describes them and develops them so well. So yeah, really adored it. Please read it. It's just so adorable. The only criticism I will have of this is Lyra is supposed to be a Slytherin, and apart from being quite sort of bolshy and self-assured, I don't really see many Slytherin traits in her. So if I'm completely missing something about her, please let me know in the comments down below. But I'm not entirely sure that she is a pure Slytherin, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I just really love this book, so definitely pick it up if you are looking for a really cute, quirky, funny YA contemporary. So yeah. And that is it for my weekly wrap up. What have you read recently? Please let me know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.